Hi guys, welcome back to FM Driving School online driving lessons. So today's clips are all about major and minor faults. So we're just going to show you the original clip. So we've already analyzed this clip before, showing you what to do. Now we're going to show you what not to do. So we fast forward the clip. We're just going to go on to the mistakes that could occur. Here's the first mistake that we have to be careful of. First of all, this road is narrow. There's parked cars either side of the road, and as we're driving slightly to the center of the road, there's a car coming in front of us. Now, if we take the junction too fast and the car in front doesn't wait for us or doesn't slow down, now we've affected that car, even though he really should have waited as we're already in the center of the road. But the examiner only cares about you and how you react. So we should have planned ahead, should have noticed actually the road is quite narrow. Possibly the car in front may not wait for us, so we have to slow it down slightly. So that's the first thing you should do. So here I've just paused the video for a quick second just to show you what an experienced driver would be thinking and how he's looking compared to what a student may or may not see. So we got an island in the middle here, and we're turning left, and a car in front, if it was to be turning right, he would be indicating and turning right. But due to the fact, because of this island, we probably missed it for a split. The cars in front's indicator for a split second. We may now just turn left without thinking about the car in front turning right. So be aware of that. Do spot the indicator. As we carry on driving anyway, we can see there's no cars in front of us turning right. Therefore, there's no need for us to stop. We can just carry on driving. Now, depending if you were to stop and if there was cars behind you and you stop for maybe a split second, the examiner will probably give you a minor fault. If you were to stop, delayed traffic behind you is unnecessary, then it may become a major, just depending on how many cars you've affected behind you. So as we carry on driving, let me show you this other particular road. The road goes around to the left as a bend. So the examiner may ask you to turn right. Now, quite commonly at this situation, when you're turning right, you forget actually the cars in front have priority. So a lot of students, what they tend to do is they just turn right without contemplating there's cars coming in front. So be wary of that. Just because it's a bend, it doesn't mean that they don't have priority. So as we carry on driving on this just a straight road, essentially it's 20 miles an hour road, so the only mistake that could really occur is maybe you guys don't stick to the speed limit. It's very possible that you're going above 20. Maintain your 20 miles an hour speed limit. Okay, so now as we get closer to this junction here, there's a roundabout up ahead, but more importantly there's cars on the left side. Now it has been in the past where students have gone a bit too close to the cars on the left. It's just because they don't want to go too far close to the center of the road, which is fair enough here, but you don't want to be too close to the cars on the left at a fast pace. So you could fail for being too close to the cars, even though you haven't touched the car, just because it's a bit too dangerous. Okay, the next clip we're going to show you is the examiner is going to ask you to pull over, do your mirror signal, and then pull over somewhere safe. And then thereafter he's going to ask you to pull off. Now, quite commonly, students can make mistakes here. The first thing is make sure you do your 6-point check properly. And what I mean by 6-point check, don't forget the blind spots, especially over the right shoulder. And look, right now you can see one white car that's just drove right past us, okay? So when you pull off, make sure there's a safe opportunity to pull off. You can see we've waited a bit. That's precisely why there's one more car coming. There's another car, that's a third. There's a little bit of a gap, but I still didn't move. Why is that? There looks like there's one more car, the fourth car, then I pulled off. Okay, so the reason why I waited quite a bit, maybe there was a slight gap that I could have pulled off, but I didn't want to take the gamble. What I mean by the gamble is, if you were to pull off and the car behind had to brake for you, and if you look here, the guy's got red lights on right now because he's braking. So if any car behind had to brake for you as you're pulling off, you've now affected the car. So this will automatically lead to a major fault or automatic failure. Now obviously a student could argue, I didn't affect the driver, the guy didn't slow down, but now it's your word against the examiners, and if the examiner felt that you slowed the car down, he will fail you. So there's no point taking a gamble for major fault. Just wait that extra second. So now we're going to be taking the third exit on our roundabout. If you take the third exit, which lane should you be in, guys? Come on, tell me the answer. The right lane. So make sure you guys stay on the right lane. We'll talk about taking the first and second on this particular roundabout another day. But let's just get to the junction. Here we are. So we're on the right lane, taking the third exit. The first thing to understand, the lane markers are quite faded away as we approach the roundabout. But in the roundabout, there's no road markings. The reason why that's important to point out is a lot of students, they tend to assume that the road is one big lane, which it isn't. You're going to have to, as a student taking the third exit, hog the inside of the roundabout. Imagine there's two lanes. That's how you have to see it. So stick to the inside of the lane. Then as you go around, you'll follow the shape of the roundabout. So as I said, the major fault would be not sticking to the inside of the lane, maybe drifting to the center of the whole roundabout. So let me just show you one more mistake that could happen. And when you get onto the roundabout, obviously follow the rules of the roundabout. That's a major fault if you impede someone on the right. But quite commonly, this could happen as well. You miscount the exit. So here's the first exit on the left. That's one. And up ahead is a second. But a student may count it as a third. Now imagine you indicated right. You're on the inside lane. You counted this as a second. And now this as a third. Going straight is a third. And now you move across from the inside back to the far left. And you affected the car on your left side. But even if there was no cars on the left side, you've just cut across, indicating right, taking the second exit. The examiner will put that as a major fault. Just because you're misleading people, you don't seem to be aware which exit you're going to and the awareness of the indicators. Anyway, that's the end of the driving tutorial. Hopefully that was beneficial. If there's any criticisms, any mistakes that I've made, please let me be aware so we can try to correct it for our next videos. Let me just quickly run through some of the major faults that could have happened in this video clip. Some were getting too close to cars, some were not noticing the indicators, taking the wrong exit and indicating the wrong way. There's one about moving off safely, making sure there's enough room for you to move off, not slowing any other drivers down. So when you do your 6-point check, do it thoroughly, and also maintaining the speed limit at 20. Do not be doing 25 or even below 18, 17, etc. So anyway, take care guys, bye.